welcome back to Tifosi Time, your weekly Serie A podcast, streaming live Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, um, on Twitch and YouTube. We are also available on, pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. So if you like the audio version, check this out there. Uh, I'm Frank. I'm here with Dan, Chris, and Pietro. Say hello, fellas. Episode 48 tonight. It's crazy. We haven't been canceled yet.
Hey.
What's up?
Wow, guys, a lot of enthusiasm there you have there. This is a big show. We're about to put down the gauntlet, people. For those of you guys listening, we're gonna actually go over our yearly predictions. We're 1 week away from the start of Serie A. So we're gonna give you our yearly predictions from how the teams are gonna perform to some other random guesses here, educated guesses I'd like to call them, but that would be probably giving them too much credit. So and whatever else random.
We did this last year, but did anyone do anything good? I forget. Did anyone hit anything?
Yeah, so you know what? That's a good point, Chris. So what we do every year is we'll all be on record with our picks, right? And then weekly we actually do we pick 4 games and we'll pick the results there, and we tally up the contest throughout the season. So our esteemed producer keeps track in the back end. Do we know who won last year or who had the most right?
I think probably me. I'm the only one who knows what they're talking about.
Well, that's a given, Dan.
I wasn't playing, though.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't playing.
That's true. That's true. He wasn't playing.
We hired him halfway through the year.
Well, nobody picked Inter to win at the beginning of the season, so.
No, I think I had Milan in second, and they finished in second. So that was my
yeah. I think I had the top 4 teams right. Well, all of us had the top 4 teams right. Anyways, new year.
It's the past.
Yeah, gotta get them in order. So the way we're gonna do this is we're actually gonna put up. We'll put them up on the screen. The different categories. We'll kind of go through. Each of us have made our picks in secret, so the rest of us don't know what the other people have picked. So we will be able to rag.
Honest, we don't really even know what we picked. I don't remember what I picked for any of these spots.
This is true. I don't remember what I put down here, so it'll be a little bit of a refresher to us ourselves. But then you'll hear us rag on each other in real time, or maybe see us all with the same train of thinking. We don't really know. So
yeah, hopefully we have some valid points to go with these selections. I'm the only one who actually kind of knows everything because I'm the one who put this together. But I think we'll have some arguments here with some of our choices.
So the first group of predictions that we're gonna pull up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the relegated teams. We all picked our bottom 3 teams that we think are going to get relegated.
We did, and they are on the screen right now. So, Frank, who you got?
Oh, you put logos up, Jesus!
I did. He doesn't know the logos. This is your first test.
Listen. I had Salernitana, I had Empoli, and I had Venezia. But the logos are tiny, guys. My eyesight. Okay.
Listen, you told me to make the screen.
Same thing. That's it.
So, I think for the audio listeners, 3 of us picked the 3 teams that got promoted. We picked them all to get relegated. The only difference here is Chris picked Spezia to get relegated and Venezia to stay up. That is literally the only difference, other than I guess placement if you're looking at 17th, 18th, and 19th. But that is the only team, Spezia, Chris put that isn't in the bottom.
Yes, very good play-by-play, Dan. So why don't we go to Chris to have him give his reasoning.
2 reasons why I had Spezia going down. One, I think Mota's not a good coach at all. So I think he's going to struggle. I think he's not going to make it. We'll get to that later. But I don't think he's going to make it through a full season.
He's talking about Thiago Motta.
Yes, Thiago Motta.
Yes,
and I'm pulling for the Americans, so I wanted to put Venezia, give them a year to stay up. So I'm pulling for the Americans. That's the only reason I picked those 2. I could see the 3 that you picked, obviously, going back down.
So by Americans, you're talking about the American owner, and you're talking about Busio and Testament or whatever?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're pulling for Venezia. I mean, I think Venezia is going to be a team that a lot of people are kind of rooting for because of their history and, the fact that they do have people from America. So I think they're going to be like a cult favorite of a lot of second teams that people are rooting for.
Also, third reason is their jerseys are beautiful. Did you guys see that? They're so nice, man. I kind of want one.
What are you, a 12-year-old girl picking teams on the jersey
Yeah,
colors?
they're nice.
Seriously.
That's awesome. Their jerseys are pretty.
So, but what are the reasons that you have Spezia? So Spezia, you said because of Thiago Motta, basically.
Solely on the coach. They lost
Yeah.
Italiano, and I don't have faith in him at all.
So if you've been following their moves, they've lost some players from last year. Like Pobega is not on their team this year. Like he was solid for them. They've loaned out a lot of players from Atalanta this year, so they're kind of like Atalanta's B team. But I think it all comes down to the coach as well. I don't think they're going to know what they're doing, and they're going to be a mess. And they will have maybe 2 or 3 coaches this season, not just 1, 2 or 3 is where I'm going at. But I don't see them getting relegated.
Yep, that's the only difference, though.
What about you, Ba? Any thoughts on why you picked your 3 teams? You picked the same as me and Dan, so.
I don't think he's listening. He might be frozen. He might have to come back in.
Yeah.
Did he hang up on us already?
He's like, enough of this. These guys know what the hell they're talking about.
We bored him. Well, we picked the same teams he did, so it couldn't have been that crazy.
Well,
so,
Frank,
yeah, I mean,
kill some time to
listening.
listen.
No, go ahead. Give us your thoughts, and then I'll jump in.
Oh, not doing. Oh, he's not. I don't know if he can hear us.
Not. I just have. Are you back? Can you hear us?
Yeah, a little bit, not that much.
All right, we want you to give our.
We all get to the same. I guess we get told the same thing because they just went up. You know what I mean?
We went the easy route. I think
But,
the bottom.
probably we're going to make a mistake on all 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it's going to be that clean, but their rosters are pretty weak. They haven't really been reinforced.
But you don't know.
Much.
You don't know, Frank. You never saw.
No, we don't know.
You didn't see them play today. For example, today Bologna for Coppa Italia lost to
Ternana.
It was a good game.
Ternana 5-4.
Yeah.
It was a loser 5-1.
Yeah, it was a good game.
That sounds fun. I'm upset I was working. That sounds like a good game.
We don't know the team.
So here's my thought about Empoli. Patrick Crotone is their starting forward. They got him on loan. That's enough said for me. They will not make it past the 17th place.
Well, honestly, that's a good point, though. When you look at a lot of these rosters, I didn't see – I mean, again, I don't know all their players, right? But you don't see a defense that's not going to give up goals, and you don't see any way they're going to score consistently. So you know they're going to be in that relegation zone, right? So it's like, for me, I just didn't see any reason not to pick them.
Frank, if you think about last year, right? Benevento was doing good.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, they drop at the end.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Usually there is a surprise. Some team they go strong in the beginning, or they stay. They're going to be a surprise or something. They all think we put those 3 teams because they come from Serie B, and we think they are.
And you just
listen. I would love for Emily to stay. I like
that's why I ask you guys to give us like 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
This guy, he already wants a cop out.
No, I know.
This guy asked for a mulligan.
No, because we put run up and shit like that. We put everything, but we don't know the you see, for example,
that's the whole point.
This year they give Juventus a favor because just Allegri. But we forgot a lot of things about Allegri.
I didn't forget. I know everything. That's why my picks are
Allegri,
right.
We forgot. We didn't like. Actually, I have to say something about Allegri. They say he's a good coach, and within him is to make a substitution or things like that. I think I criticize him about that too.
Yeah, but is it better than Pirlo that made
it's better than Pirlo. Everybody.
No, but the same sub at the 70-minute mark every game, right?
Pirlo. We don't say he was not good. He was inexperienced.
Listen, I will have plenty of time to bash Juventus a little later.
So listen. So this exercise, right, that everybody does, all these shows do on predicting, that's part of the reason people do them, right? Because it's like, before they've kicked the first ball, it's like to see kind of how you take the teams on paper. Then we know when they're on the field everything changes, right? And we're going to be talking about it all
Right.
season.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know the coach. You don't know what the coach is.
We're doing it based on what we know today.
And
you know, and we
don't know nothing today.
Well, that's true.
That's why it's going to be, that's why it's interesting.
That's what I say. We should give us 3-4 games at least.
Well, you don't know anything. In fairness, you don't know anything after 3-4 games either.
No, but you see how the idea, how they play. You say these people, they go straight down on the Serie B.
Sounds like someone's trying to make excuses.
Once you see his picks, you're gonna see why he's saying this, because this guy don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Make it funny.
All right, predict. Yeah, let's go on 6th place or something. It's the same.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna move on.
Conversation.
All right, let's do 6. So the next thing we're picking is 6th place, right? So, Dan, why don't you kick us off here? So across the board, the picks are. Can I just announce the picks and then we'll go to Dan for comments?
Yeah.
I picked Napoli to come in 6th. Dan also has Napoli. Chris has Lazio, and Pietro has Rome. Okay, so Dan, kick us off. Why'd you pick Napoli?
I mean, I think there are 5 better teams than them, obviously, but I don't see. I think defensively they're still weak. With Malinowski back there, and their fullbacks are not the strongest. There's even still rumors of people moving out of the team. Moving out of the team before the transfer deadline. So I put that in
rotating goalies too.
I mean, that's the same story that they always do. I actually think Osimhen's going to have a very good year this year, and he's going to help out a lot and bounce back strong. I just don't think that they are strong enough as these other teams, or they're not as consistent enough. Even with Gattuso, new coach or whatever that they have, Spalletti, they've never shown that consistency for the last 3 or 4 years. They could have won the title, a few years back, and they choked. So I don't see them pulling through.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I also picked Napoli here, and half our family's from Naples, right? Like we want to root for them, but losing Gattuso, I think, is going to be bad. There's been rumors that they potentially could sell Insigne, which I don't think they're going to do. Yeah. But potentially he could be gone in the next week or so. If he was gone, I just think losing Gattuso and bringing in Spalletti, who, I was a fan of, but he's never really been able to bring his team to the top either. I just don't know how they're going to make a jump to beat some of these other teams we have. I just didn't see any huge reinforcements on their team.
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback your point, I don't think Gattuso was the problem last year. And that's the change they made, was the change in the coach. Their roster is pretty much the same. It's the coach they changed. And I don't think Gattuso deserved to get fired. So I'm putting them 6th place.
So last year they finished 5th, correct? So you're saying they finished 1 spot worse this year.
Yeah. All right, and Chris, you pick Lazio as your 6th place team.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons. We'll get to that probably at the end because I couldn't put one team in my top 6. But sorry, I kind of like. I think he's going to be consistent. They have tons of talent. Everyone craps on this team. It's just that their depth's not the best, right? But they have a lot of good players. Immobile's one of the best strikers.
Well, you see, Sarri, Lazio started with the wrong idea. They sell one of the best players they have, Correa.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose Correa, that's a hit.
I don't understand the way this allows a game where he wants to play. But if I was a coach, I want to go like Correa, I would want everybody all time.
Well, I agree, but that's not official yet, right?
No,
it's not official. But you say if he wants to play, he has to play left wing. I don't know what intention he has or something.
Yeah, I hear you. Again, you don't want a player that doesn't want to be there either, really, right? I wouldn't want.
Yeah, that's the truth too. He wants to leave it too.
Well, in a way, though, we're kind of making Chris's point, though, right? I mean, if you have him ranked anywhere above Lazio, we're kind of making it sound like I can see where he's putting it 6th, right? With Sarri and his thing, and potentially them losing Correa, they could definitely take a step back for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Lazio and you're a Lazio fan, I mean, obviously you want to make Champions League. If you could squeeze in that 4th place, that'd be fantastic. But sixth place is not a terrible position. You had a decent season if you got into sixth. I don't know that many people are expecting better than 5 or 6 for them.
You see, you have to understand one more thing. Correa and Immobile, they were playing good together a lot. I don't know what game Sarri wants them to play. I don't know.
They'll be one of the more interesting teams to watch this season just because of the totally new style that they're going to be playing.
Believe it or not, you're not going to see another Napoli and Lazio.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, you have to.
Immobile doesn't have the skill with the ball, first of all, to do what they did in Naples. So, it's going to be different from what Sarri's used to.
I do think they're going to be a tough out, though. They're not going to be easy for teams, and they have talent.
Any given week, they can beat any of the teams above them. If they have a good game, they.
But that's the criticism. But that's the criticism for these teams, right? And specifically a team like Lazio, that's always their thing. They play great for 4 years, and they're like, "Wow, they're amazing," and then they lose points versus 2 crummy teams, and then they're up and down, and that's how you end up somewhere between 5th and 8th every year.
So let's take a timeout right there. All right, who was the coach then?
Last year?
Yeah,
Inzaghi.
But where is he now?
Inter.
Okay, we'll see my top 6.
Okay. There's some foreshadowing for Chris there. All right, so then you picked Rome as your 6th.
Yeah, but you see, it's not the coach that make the team. It's the team that make the coach.
Well, coach is a big part of it, though.
Yeah, but if you don't have a player.
Yeah, but that's what Chris is saying. Lazio has players. They don't have the depth, but they have players.
You see, Lazio, right? Take Lazio. They're going to change the way to play.
Yeah.
I don't know how well they do.
Well,
they're going to bring Rugani in, so.
Yeah,
they're winning the Serie A.
Right. Okay, let's move to.
Rugani played with the Sarri in Napoli.
Love them.
Yeah,
exactly. That was what
I've been saying. Never mind how good Sarri can be, but you cannot switch. You cannot change all the mentality or the game.
You can. It just takes a while. They might go off to a slow start. Anyway, you picked Rome. Why'd you pick Rome for 6th?
I don't know. Rome might get some place like 5th place too, because look like they have a good team.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
They still they're buying.
Yeah.
They're very active this summer. Yeah,
bringing in players.
They bought a 42 Abram. They 42 million. No, and for Roma to spend the 42 million, that's a lot.
He's such a wild card. If he's on, they're going to be hard
to deal with. Did you see the guy play Vigna?
Yeah,
they say it's good too.
Very promising fullback. They made moves.
Is good. They have a good team.
Let's be real. Let's just really quickly ask a question. How many people would have Rome in the top 4 right here if Spina wasn't hurt?
Played all season?
I definitely would have ranked them higher. Yeah, if Spinazzola was playing,
100%.
Yeah. And honestly, if it wasn't, I don't really know to trust Mourinho or not.
But
I
don't know if the top.
Yeah, but Frank, I put a 6th place of Roma, but that doesn't mean they can get to that for place.
Yeah, well, of course, any of these teams. I mean, right?
Depends how they start. Depends how they get together.
Of course.
But at the end, somebody's going to get bragging rights to say, "I told you so."
That will be me.
So that's I don't know. All right, let's proceed.
All right. Do we want to move to our 5th place? Our 5th place choices.
Yeah. Sure.
So we're going to have some overlap here, obviously. These are some of the movers and shakers here. So. Frank, you're going to kick us off because you have Inter going from 1st place to out of the Champions League into 5th place this season. What's the deal?
I do. So for those of you guys listening on the podcast, I selected Inter to come in 5th. Dan and Chris both have Rome, and Pietro has Inter. So I'll kick us off. So obviously, those of you guys that watch the show, I hate Inter anyway. So any way I can have to justify, them having a horrible season, I'll take it. So a few things. You know, just in terms of them selling Lukaku was he meant so much to that team. Selling Hakimi. Now I will say this. I'm not saying edge. If in the next week they bring in Zapata from Adelant, which they're still heavy on, right?
That's the number
I
one
think
target right now. Yeah.
I think that bumps them up to third place at least. And will change a lot of my picks. But they're bringing in some players. Ultimately, I think losing those players, I just don't see them. I think they're going to have a big hit, and I think they're coming fifth. I think most people are going to bump them down a peg or two. I went a little bit further and just said, hey, you know what? Fifth place for you. Enjoy it.
I went even further.
So yeah, Chris, you went even further. I think it's probably time to tell your selection of Inter, since they didn't even make your top six.
Well, they didn't make my top six because change of coach. It's huge, right? Whatever you say, you don't like him, it's huge. Lukaku, Hakimi, you replace him with Dzeko and Dumfries? Come on, right?
Yeah.
And then, Frankie's completely right, though. If they, in a week, get Zapata for the rumored $30 million, that does change.
And who else? Wasn't there somebody else they're also possibly rumored to try to get? Also, that might.
Don't forget the market didn't finish. They can lose a Brozovic or somebody else.
Yeah, and they could lose.
Yeah, well, I think losing anyone else only helps our point that they're going to slip further. But if they bring in a couple of good reinforcements like Zapata, maybe
Correa, Zapata.
So
yeah, and what if they bring in Correa and Zapata?
No, Correa. Why? What did they do? Desco. Why did they?
Desco is a bench player.
That's not happening. First of all, Frank, I read something today that
if Desco's bench player, they're going to lose all year round.
They're in debt 700 million euros or something.
Well, then how are they bringing in anyone? How are they bringing in anyone?
I don't know. Well, that was free.
First of all, they're talking about to bring Zapata or Correa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One of the two.
Yeah. I think as they stand right now, as we record this, they don't have either.
Still, I have a question. Sell Hakim and Lukaku. I think they figure out they have some money left, 40 million. How they buy all this players?
They're not gonna.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like
they spend 50 million for Dumfries, I think.
Yeah, which I thought that was a good deal. Cheap, not expensive.
50?
A serviceable. No, 15 million. That's not a lot of money.
50.
Yeah, and Zapata, they're not getting less than 40 million.
I can't understand if they get him less than 40. Why Adelant would do that?
I heard the rumor was 30, but I don't know.
Yeah, but Frankie, Zapata is good. Also, all this
28, 29?
28,
30 years.
I don't know.
No, he's not 30 yet.
Let me Google
could be that say if we don't sell now, we don't sell no more.
Yeah, listen, Adelant knows how to make money on their players. So
no, they do. But my point is, like, I still think for value wise, for what you would be getting, if you pay 30 million for him, that's like very undervalued.
I think that's a good move by Inter.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that the moves that they made,
of course, if they can get it for that price.
Dzeko for free, Dumfries for 15, gets Zapata for 40. I think they reinvest their money very, very well. Going from a terrible beginning to the off season to reinforce with them. I think you guys are all out low. You guys are low.
Zapata.
You guys are low on it.
Yeah, but that is the one.
Well, they don't have those players yet.
That is one thing, Daniel. That is one thing. We forgot what Lukaku and Hakim meant for them.
Everything.
Practically, they were together with Lautaro. They were the team.
I mean, you're also forgetting what else they have. They still have a great defense. They still have a good midfield. They still have a good midfield. Their goalie is serviceable, even though he's getting old. He's not bad. They got Lautaro, who's on and off, yes, but on his day he can score 2 or 3 goals.
I think the whole team ran off of Lukaku, and even Lautaro. I think without having Lukaku there to play the ball off of and take defenders,
but
knock the ball down to him, I think they lose a lot with.
But
Lukaku.
also, you have to understand they changed their playing style too. They got a new coach. So who says
they can recuperate if they buy Zapata.
That's what I mean. That's why I said right now they don't have Zapata. They don't have Correa. I put them 5th. If next week they go get Zapata and somebody else, then yeah,
Zapata is more important than Correa.
Yeah, so I think they need to replace Lukaku right now. And Hakimi, listen, in a tight game where you have a defender like him that can go up the wing, it does make a difference, to take the pressure off and go out. So I just think losing a coach and losing your 2 best players in the same year is a lot.
It's never a good thing.
No, it's never a good thing. And I like Inzaghi too, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
But I think
you just gave crap to Lots for blowing all those games you're supposed to win with Lots, right? Like, and now he's on Inter, so that makes a difference.
Yeah, and Lots, where do they end up? 5th or 6th all the time. So that's the thing.
And Chris, you have Rome in 5th, like me. What are your thoughts? You have them a little higher than.
I'm praying that Zaniolo has the best year ever.
I see. I'm not praying for that. That's going to happen. He's going to be ridiculous this year.
I think it's going to be insane. Got a new goalie. I like VR, Veretout. They have talent on this team. Let's hope Mourinho can actually pull it together, and it's going to be exciting. I want to watch this team this year for sure.
Well, their biggest problem was letting up too many goals, right? So Mourinho should help with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Shamuradov is playing well in their preseason games. He's fitting in great. I'm expecting a good season from him, but I think Zaniolo by the end of the season, maybe top 3 player in the league. That's how high I think he's going to be this year.
Listen, give him a chance to come back and stay healthy.
No, Frank. I mean, you haven't watched him this preseason.
I haven't.
He's strong. He's strong.
I love Zaniolo, but let's hope he let's give him a chance to play.
Yeah.
I think he'll be the different. I mean, I wanted to put them up a little higher, but if you'll see my 4th pick, I had to be a little more realistic with Inter.
I don't even remember who I picked, to be honest with
you. Tom, let's go to our 4th place choices. So Frank, you picked Lazio. I picked Inter. Chris picked Napoli, and Pietro picked Milan. All right, so start this. I'll start just with the Inter thing because we just talked about them. Like I said, I'm a little more realistic. I don't see them dropping from 1 to 5 or 6 or 7 where Chris has them. Yes, they're worse than last year. They're not as bad as you guys are making them out to be. That's all I'll say on that.
Okay. We talked about Napoli already, right? I mean, I'm a little higher on them. Hopefully Insigne stays. They have a lot. Zelinski's awesome, right? They have a lot of great players. Hopefully they can keep it together. I like them more than you guys, obviously.
No, not more than one of us. You'll see.
Why did you pick Milan? Talk to us why you put Milan 4th.
Me?
Yeah.
What I pick Milan?
Yeah.
Because I'm more than 4th place they didn't get.
Well, last year they got in 3rd, didn't they? Or they got 4th? Second last year.
No, what? You don't forget, Abramovich is still injured.
No, 3rd.
Abramovich is still injured. They signed Giroud,
who's been awesome.
They got Florenzi at right back to help Calabria. They're still weak at right wing.
Florenzo Calabria. That's double.
Yeah, but I mean, it's reinforcements. It helps.
I don't have a problem with this pick because
they still have a problem with to put Romagnoli.
On the bench, that's where they're putting him on the bench. He's not going to be playing much.
Also, to start the season, Kessie is hurt. They do have the African Cup that takes a month out of the season, so they're losing Benacer and Kessie. That's I mean, for a month, that's a long time, right?
Yeah, and Kessie's out for a month with a thigh injury, I think. So that's a lot of Tonali.
Yeah, I can see why he put him in 4th for sure.
Okay, and Frank, you picked Lazio, so you're more high on Chris.
I think honestly, this one just goes down to, again, if they lose Correa, that's a big loss for them. But right now, he's still on the team. I don't believe in Sarri by any means, but I think the roster they have is probably one of the most similar rosters to his old Napoli team in the sense that the midfield and the forwards, they're all decently technically they can play. And I think that's what Sarri wants. So I think if he can, reestablish something, get them to move. The question is, will he be able to get them to move the way he wants and can do it quick enough for them to actually? So I think I put him fourth because they have a really good midfield. Mobley is going to score his goals, and it had more to do with, I think, decline of like teams like Inter that I was really
very, very talented team. Like we said, I do wish they had a little bit more depth.
See, to me, if they get fourth place, that means everything broke fantastic for them the entire season.
I agree with that.
And I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They don't have a large margin, right? But I think their floor is probably seventh, eighth, and their ceiling is probably fourth.
They're definitely one of those teams where, like, oh man, you could see them at fourth, but if they were in eighth, would you be shocked? Like, no probably not.
No.
Okay. Let's go to our third place selections.
I don't even know who I picked.
I don't remember who I picked either, and I think our producer fell asleep, so we're not going to get our third place selections. Wow, look at this!
Wow.
All right, so Frank, myself, and Chris all picked Milan third place, and Pietro picked Atalanta third place. So, where do you guys want to start with this?
Well, in terms of Milan, for me, I felt like they were actually they were one of the earlier teams bringing in players, bringing in some reinforcements, right? They also have the advantage of bringing Pioli back for a second year. So while all these other teams are changing coaches and playing different styles, I thought the continuity of playing a second year at Pioli, right? The guy's got one more year. Third year, yeah. The players were young last year, so they have
Guys, in December, Milan is going to lose Benacer and Kessie.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Is that guaranteed though?
Yeah, that's the African Cup. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, the African Cup. Yeah. No, and that'll be a big loss. And honestly, I didn't really factor that in. To be honest with you, I've totally forgotten about it. And that'll definitely hurt them, right? So that's even more important. Like people like Tonali don't stink. People that are going to play. But yeah, I just thought having your coach for the third year in a row, that's got to mean something positive instead of all these other teams getting a brand new coach.
So they all know their roles, right? I think Diaz is going to have a good season. Hopefully, he plays a lot more. I think Giroud is an underrated. I think he's really good. He's awesome for that team.
When Giroud's in form, he can be good.
I'm gonna say something. I think Giroud has more goals than Zlatan this year. I think he.
Well, Zlatan's isn't he like
just because he's gonna
injured
play,
and
he's gonna play more. I think.
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
But listen, you have to look at that. Team. Look at that example though. Last year when Zlatan got hurt, they had nobody.
Exactly.
And now they have Giroud. So right there, they can play a forward that actually is halfway decent, right? I just don't believe Giroud's going to stay in that type of form all year. I think he's going to have 10 good games, 10 okay games, and 10 where he disappears. But see if he proves me wrong. Yeah. But
listen, their defense.
They lost to China Low.
They did, but
I don't mind that. I don't mind that loss. I think Brahim Diaz is a better fit and better player than China Low.
I
think what you guys said about the African Cup is probably the most worrisome thing, losing those players for a month in the middle of the year.
Do you guys have any worry about losing Donnarumma and changing him with Magnan? You don't think there's going to be any, repercussions from that?
It's not like he's crap. He's a good goalie.
Yeah, I do.
He's a good goalie. Listen, it may cost him a couple points over the course of the season, maybe one save here or there that Donnarumma would have made, but I don't think hopefully it won't be a big gaping hole.
Yeah, just really quickly, my thoughts on them. What, like Frankie said, every other team in the top 6 over here has a new coach. Pioli's been there 3 seasons, almost full 3 seasons. So they have that on. They have one of the best club atmospheres as far as actually liking each other and getting along with each other. They have a solid squad. The midfield is going to be a little weak, especially with the African nations. We talked about that. The right wing is their biggest issue to me. They still haven't found a piece over there, so they need to resolve that and hopefully get some production for that. But I think
they get a lot of attacking out of their fullbacks.
Yeah, on the other side with Theo Hernandez, sure, but
Calabria when he's back.
Sure, maybe Florenzi will step up over there and they'll put him a little more advanced.
Hey, guys, Uh, I don't remember who I put as a runner-up. I think it's
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Lazio.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
He doesn't even know, and it's not Lazio. He didn't pick that.
No, no.
Don't
Because
spoil it yet. Well, talk to me about Adelante.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're coming third?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they did the work they did too. They finished. I think they're gonna go down a little bit.
You're saying that the
But
run
they're
is
gonna
over
stay. They're gonna stay until third place or something like that.
Which is still a good year, by the way.
for
Third
sure.
Place.
Yeah, it's very respectable for them. That's a solid season. But you're saying this is the start of the decline of Atalanta.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any more thoughts on our third place, or we want to go to runner up? Because this is going to be 20 minutes right here. All right, Dom, throw up our second place.
I put it up.
You put all right. So get yours out of the way. Napoli, second place. Why do you think they're going to be so good this season? Why do you think Napoli is going to be so good this season? We're talking about you first. Why do you think Napoli is going to be?
No, you see, I'm in doubt between Napoli and Inter.
Okay,
What do
well,
you
you
mean?
picked Napoli, so talk about Napoli.
Napoli is a good team. I mean, if they don't sell Insigne, Koulibaly, they have a good team.
Yeah, a lot of question marks still there. Yeah, definitely have the skills.
They are the same team last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for the most part, they do have the same team. They haven't changed much.
They
Bakayoko's
didn't
not
change
there
too
anymore.
much.
Yeah. We got a question in the chat. You guys, do you think CR7 rumors to Real Madrid are true? I mean, I know Ancelotti. Everyone's saying that he wants him. I don't know. With Ronaldo, we've discussed this.
Yeah, I think they're true.
I do too.
I kind of hope they're true.
So there was a rumor.
I don't think they close it in time.
No, they could. It's.
Or are you talking about next year free?
Mbappe went to talk to the president. He said he wants to leave.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid. He's kind of trying to force his way.
I mean, listen, they're cutting it very close if they want to get this stuff going. So they got to make some moves in the next week or so to get it.
We
underway.
did hear a rumor today that
Yeah.
Ronaldo's agent offered him to Manchester City.
Yeah, which, by the way, I mentioned that on Reddit just as a question. Like, hey, did anyone hear that? And I got so much shit by people saying, why are you posting stupid stuff? I'm like, it's a question. Has anyone? I'm trying to find out if the source is real or not, and if you guys understand. This is so stupid. Just people are right. Like, people are morons.
Who was the source? Do you remember? I remember.
It was Corriere dello Sport, I think.
Yeah.
Like an Italian newspaper. Yes, I know they're not all truthful or whatever, but like, hey, anyone else hear this?
All of you. And not you put Juventus. Explain me why.
So go ahead. Who wants to start that one?
I'll go first. So, obviously we're all Juventus fans, right? So the fact that, for those of you guys that are watching on the podcast, myself, Dan, and Chris both apparently we all have Juventus as second place runner-up. So here's my thought, honestly, my thinking to it. And I will say again, at this point, Locatelli wasn't bought, even though I think that's going to be final tomorrow or the next day, right? This really had to do with I'm not a huge believer in Allegri. Like, I think he's better than Pirlo, but to Daddy's point, I think everyone's better than Pirlo.
Yeah, it doesn't say much.
I think it's going to take 6-7 games for people to remember just the style that Allegri plays, which is like not all that entertaining, not exactly, that high scoring. His subs are not these great genius things that recreate
but he
the
go
game.
for the win, Fred.
He goes for the win. He
win. You go for the win, they win.
Yeah,
but a lot of people that want to show champagne, sake champagne. They show a goal. They don't show nothing. He win.
Well, here's my other thing. I honestly look at our team, right, and we didn't really have any reinforcements that really. I mean, Locatelli's a big one, right? If we can get Locatelli, but there's a good chance, and we talked about this. There's going to be important games where Juventus could be having, Bonucci, De Sciglio, and
Rugani back there.
Not Rugani, maybe Rugani. Sandro. Like, I don't think our defense is that great. to be honest with you. And our midfield, let's see who he prefers. Does he play McKennie? Like, we don't know how it's going to shake out. He still has this Ramsey thing, his Regista in his head, which I totally don't believe in. Yeah, I'm just saying, the safe money, I will say, is Juventus winning Serie A and winning it by 8 or 10 points this year. But I thought that was very boring. So you'll see by who I chose as
I think I put him a champion. I don't think it's going to be 10 points, 12 points. No more. This championship is going to be hard. It's going to be, well fought.
Yeah, but if you're going by the betting books, they are the favorites.
Yeah, but they favor. No, you used to say they're not the favorite because they don't even buy Locatel.
Well, he's giving his reasons why he doesn't think they're
going to Frankie, you know one thing, I'm sure at the end the Locatelli is going to be Juventus.
I think so
and
too.
And Locatelli make a difference in Juventus.
I agree. 100%.
Make a difference. Just the one make a difference.
When we did this, Locatelli's not on their team, right? If Locatelli was on their team, it may have swayed me the other way. But right now, he's not.
So you're saying he's the same here?
Look, tomorrow is done. He's going to go to practice with Juventus tomorrow.
Okay. It could happen. I still think I kind of agree with Frankie. They have issues left back. Chiellini gets hurt. De Ligt gets hurt. They're screwed.
That's not thing to talk. If he gets through,
they have no depth. You want to get hurt?
If Gerard is going to get hurt, Ibrahimovic get hurt, so nobody play.
Well, yeah,
but you can say that about anyone.
But it's a weakness. Don't forget.
Yeah, but it's just to say Zaniolo if you don't get. No, you would just, we need to see them play.
But I mean, if you look at the trends,
the way you should go.
If you look at the trends, Chiellini doesn't play more than 10 games a season anymore.
I think he's going to play more than that this year. But I think
even if he does play more, you have Bonucci there. I mean, he had an awesome Euros, but I don't like him.
Hey, Chris, listen to me. Bonucci, we don't like. He has a limit, but still is a good defender.
He's slow as hell.
It's a good defender.
I don't think Juventus is going to suck.
Him and Bacchellini, they stop the best forward.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to suck.
Do that.
No, you know what I don't like Bonucci? When he turn his back to them, or when he want to try the long pass too much.
I'll have one other comment, and I'm going to hand it off to Dan and Chris. But one other thing that I didn't say. I also think Ronaldo still being on the team is a problem for them. That I think Allegri is going to have the same issue. I know he's saying, I'm going to just treat him like one of the regular players and he's going to come out. Well, hey, if he does that, then great. He earns my respect. But I don't think he's going to do that.
Did you see the friendly game with Netherlands?
Yes, I saw second half.
We scored a goal. Ronaldo, the ball,
that was a beautiful play.
Yeah. Chiesa is a reason to believe in them. Right? Dybala is a reason to believe in them. Yeah, they have a good team. I'm not saying they suck. I put them second, but it was easy for me to. I think it was easy for everyone to put them number one. I just think they have to prove it for me because again, I remember what they were like when Allegri was there.
Everybody has to prove it, Frank.
Yeah, everybody has to prove it
because take Napoli, Lazio. They change the coach too.
Yeah, but our coach is talking about Quadrado as wing. Our coach is talking about playing Quadrado as a wing and Ramsey as a regista.
No, he already put more back in the play.
Yeah, okay, so that just shows how he's thinking, though, right?
Because you see, Allegri he has to know because Quadrado. If he come from the back, it's more danger than if he play up.
We understand this.
Because if you play up, first of all, play on the right wing, we have a Chiesa and Kulusevski. We don't need him there.
Yeah.
You have to decide. Because already playing Chiesa, you already have a Kulusevski on the bench already. And you cannot think to put a Chiesa on the left side.
Listen, I agree, but I'm not Allegri. He's the one who said it.
Allegri say, Chiesa play on the right side, he play better. He say himself.
And he does.
Yeah.
My thoughts really quickly on them. The left back situation, is that Sandro is not good. He's not a good player. We've been saying it for years, but I mean, he's even regressed even more. I know people love Szczesny. We don't particularly. I don't have any faith in him at all. Like, he makes too many mistakes. Even the game in Atalanta.
I agree with you too.
He made a nice save over in the.
Okay, and did you see the ball go through his legs on coming out on the ball against Atalanta?
I agree with you about Szczesny.
It was disgraceful.
You see, Szczesny, he gave me the same impression Andanovic gave to me. He played like with no enthusiasm, no nothing.
Yeah, like I said, I have no faith in him. The biggest thing, though, is that midfield. I still don't think, even with Locatelli, they have a good enough midfield to win the league. Forget about Champions League, all that stuff. I don't even know if they'll get out of it. I mean, they'll probably get out of it.
Yeah, but they see a chance of Pereira to take his place.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Open competition.
I would like to see that. Yeah, I would like to see that.
I would love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen.
But that midfield, I mean, McKennie should play a lot. Hopefully, he plays a lot. I think he has to go with
midfield with McKennie and Locatelli.
Ramsey, Locatelli. I mean, that's a serviceable.
No, forget Ramsey. Ramsey, no. Bentancur or some.
Not Ramsey. I meant Rabiot, not Ramsey.
Yeah.
Rabiot,
but it starts with McKennie. It starts with McKennie and Locatelli for sure. And we don't know if Allegri's going to get there. We don't know if they're going to sign Locatelli. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things we have to see him actually do.
Yeah. But the reason faith.
But don't forget one thing. One thing with Locatelli, we can switch to play the two midfield.
Yeah,
we can try that.
He has options, obviously more options. But I think that their season's going to come down to
4-2-3-1.
You know Ronaldo's going to get his goals if he stays on the team, whatever. But Dybala and Chiesa, how much do they put in with that? Chiesa, I have faith in. Dybala, will he stay healthy? If he does, he's going to do really well, and they're probably going to win the league if he stays healthy the whole season. But yeah, I have them second. Yeah, let's go to number one. I mean, we talked about all these teams. So Frank, myself, and Chris all picked Atalanta. We say that this is their year, that they're not going to decline, that this is their year to get to the top, and you have Juventus going number one.
Yeah, best coach in the league. They kept all their players.
In the meantime, for now, a friendly game would beat them 3-1.
That doesn't mean anything.
Well, listen,
it doesn't mean he means something.
But I will say this. Right? What to agree with Daddy a little bit. So we all put out Atalanta because we think, okay, this is the year they finally make a little bit of a jump. They have Gasperini, who we think is the best coach. They've been the same coach for a while, but they have to prove, and this is a little mean whether or not they come in first or second, third, or fourth again. They have to prove in the big head-to-head game they can beat teams like Juventus, right? Like, they can't go attack and play nice and end up losing 2-1, 3-1. That's what they have to prove.
You know what also they say? The compliment they give it to Atalanta, they've run too much. Could be all of a sudden they lose the will to run too much.
Here's what I think. This is why I think they're going to make a jump, right? Now, again, this is assuming they don't sell Zapata in the next week, right? They don't sell Gosens or anything
I feel
crazy
like even if they sell Zapata, they have a plan. They're gonna reinforce some way. So
they have a plan, but that's like saying like Inter can replace Lukaku, right? Like I'm
not saying you can replace him with one player.
You think it's easy to replace Zapata?
No, I'm saying
You think
they know what they're doing. I'm saying.
This is why I think this year they make the jump. I think they're going to get Malinowski. I think is going to take another step forward. I think Pessina, his experience in the Euros, is going to make him be more consistent and take another step forward, right? De Roon and Freuler are constants there. I think Demiral is going to help them. He's going to turn into this year's Romero for them. If he can stay healthy.
Demiral is a danger. You know Demiral how many penalty give it to the other
and
team?
What? And Chiellini and our guys aren't or like Dillit.
He's a famous for that.
He's erratic and injury prone.
Dillit gave up like 17 penalties his first year.
Oh.
Those are handballs.
When the ball
that was not you can't.
I'm saying it's a stupid thing to talk about.
You call penalty? Those think they give it to the.
I agree with Frank here.
I think it's a stupid thing to say penalties or Demiral's.
I would love to play with Demiral, man. He pumps you up. He's into it. Like he's awesome.
Listen, here's the deal. Would we say Romero fouled and got a lot of red cards before he went to Atalanta? We said that.
He was card happy. Yeah,
Somehow Gasparini got him to play a little bit smarter. If he gets the same thing out of Demirel, I think they're going to have something there. Not to mention they have Lovato, right? Which I think he's going to grow into the role throughout the season. I think they have
They have Musso in net. They have a better goalie. They have the same players for the most part with more experience. They're getting better every day. That's why we picked them. We picked them
another season for Mile, who came he started playing halfway through the season, so now he's I just think
they kept Gosens, which nobody thought they would keep Gosens.
As a group, they've stayed together, and they're still in the right age of their prime.
And
so
we didn't mention Muriel, who scores every 40 minutes, it seems like.
He's awesome.
I think if Atalanta's ever going to make the jump, it's got to be this year. Also, they have the experience another year of trying to manage the Champions League and Serie A, which they did a bad job last year. And hopefully Gasparini learned from that.
Yeah, that's the tough part. That might bring him down. Hopefully they can manage that a little bit better. But to play all these competitions, the Italian Cup, Champions League, it's going to be tough. But I think they can do it for sure.
And I think they get a better year at Apostolic too this year.
Yeah, he was hurt a lot last season.
Yeah, he was hurt a lot this year. So they can come in fifth, right? Any of these teams could change. But I think this year, if any year, they got to make the jump, because I think we do have a Ronaldo who's not happy on Juventus. And I think as long as he's there, that's going to cause problems. And we have Allegri who's got to prove he knows how to manage the team.
Frankie, the ball and Ronaldo, one year they play good together.
Yes, they did. They're great players.
Yeah, they played really well together. Yeah.
And now with them, they have a Chiesa, too.
The offense is not the problem with Juventus.
It's not. It really isn't.
Was it the problem last year with Juventus? Did we not have good forwards? Yeah.
So we hope we have Locatelli.
We hope we have Locatelli.
Because Locatelli,
right now we have the same scrubs.
Locatelli, Rabiot, for the two of them. We don't know about Ramsey, if he can is able.
Ramsey sucks.
To pick up something. No, listen. I was disappointed because I was expecting more than Ramsey than Rabiot last year.
I think there's a better chance Bernardeschi has a better year than Ramsey this year.
Bernardeschi, who by the way scored a beautiful goal against Atalanta.
And don't forget if Bernardeschi keep on play like this. Since he went to the national team,
he'll be useful. Actually,
he'll be. There's a better chance he's useful than Ramsey. So the problem we had in midfield last year, we still have. Now Locatelli is a big thing. If we get Locatelli and he's smart enough to play Locatelli and McKennie, the first two names on the sheet every week, they'll be better. But I don't know if he's even going to do that.
I think he's got in the same mindset as us for McKennie. Like he said, I need over 10 goals from him. He's going to do over 10 goals this year. Like he has it in his head. McKennie's playing. He's going to get the bulk of the playing time, I would think.
I almost get worried when I hear that, though.
But the point is that he's into him. Like he believes in him.
About McKennie, right? When he came, he played good. But lately, he didn't play well.
Yeah, because he hasn't been playing.
Confusing. Like he's confusing. Like he doesn't know what he's doing.
He's played less, and I think it's because they didn't really ever put him in midfield. They said, go play right wing, go score a goal.
No, that was a Pirlo that put him right.
But that's what I mean. Well, that's what now you have.
He did not put him to play with Salah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why you have to put
backs to backs, because he can play backs to backs.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that have to happen. It's not just about getting Locatelli. You have to put the right guys in the field in the right position, right? Mm-hmm. And I just think Atalanta has a lot less to figure out.
Yes, less question marks. Definitely.
Less question marks. They know who the players are. And I just think Gasparini, if Gasparini's ever going to do something, he's a great coach, but he's got to win something.
Gasparini said it last
this year.
He said, I don't even have to coach this team. I don't even have to be on the sideline. They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. You can't say that about Juventus.
No.
Well, no.
So yeah, we're going to go to part 2 of our predictions because we have a little more of top players and all that stuff. But just to recap, we have winners. Chris, myself, and Frank picked Atalanta, and Pietro picked Juventus to win it all. So we're going to actually go back to this. Hopefully we remember to do that, and we'll see who's the moron and who's the genius.
All of us. Somehow we'll get them all wrong.
Probably. All right, so this is our next slide of season predictions. So we have 5 different categories here. We have first manager fired, surprise team of the year, or like your dark horse kind of, manager of the year, top goal scorer, and your MVP of the season. So we're going to start the bottom there with first manager fired. And Dom's going to pull it up. And we have some different choices. Frank, you picked Ballardini from Genoa. I picked Mota, and Pietro picked Mota from Spezia. And Chris, you picked Di Francesco from Sam. Explain that one.
Ooh, that's a surprising one.
I didn't pick that, did I?
Yeah, you did.
I did pick that,
Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure why I picked that.
I mean,
fires a lot of people.
So I know why I picked it because I've seen him in teams past, and I have not liked what I've seen from the team on the field. But the only thing that sucks is Sampa has talent on their team.
If Di Francesco is the first coach to be fired, he finished his career. Because
for sure. He's had so many chances.
Lately, he's been fired from all over.
Well, that's what I mean. And you guys have seen it. The teams that he's been into the past.
Except at the time.
Sassuolo was the only.
Sassuolo.
Yeah, Sassuolo.
He didn't do well with the.
I didn't like the way his teams have played. Again, Sam's got talent.
They have a decent roster. They're really not bad.
Yeah. Not a bad team at all. I just don't like the way his teams play. I was between him and Mota, and I knew Pietro was going to pick Mota, so I didn't want to double up on that.
Ballardini, he did good with Jen all the time.
Yeah,
he did good.
And this is he saved them all the time. And this is the first year they renew him.
Yeah,
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Genoa, the time we can throw him out.
Right, because Genoa fires people so quickly, and they always underperform.
They do. They really do. They fire.
But what about Mota? I don't think he's ready to play. It's another Pirlo.
I think if Mota gets
why is Mota even a coach?
If he gets 8 games this year, it'll be a surprise to me. I think he's fired in the first 2 months.
It's another Pirlo. It's the worst because he doesn't have the players Pirlo has.
Yeah. It's a terrible spot for him.
Could have given some impact to the team.
Is the owner like his uncle or something? Why? How did he get the job?
No. So that's our first coach. I only say, Di Francesco, Chris, you're right. I mean, his track record lately, he sucked, everywhere he's been, but he has a good roster.
And Sampaoli fires a lot of coaches too, though.
I mean, they're going from Ranieri to him. Ranieri was awesome. So who knows how they'll react to
By the way, Mota, who's coaching, Matt?
Who?
Who's coaching?
Coaching what?
You picked Mota.
Yeah, but who?
Spezia.
Yeah.
Wait, also timeout. Isn't Di Francesco coaching Verona this year?
Did I put the wrong team there?
That's why I was so confused when you started there.
Oh, all right. Maybe that's wrong then. I didn't see. So
Di Francesco was a coach of Cagliari.
Yeah, but isn't he's Verona this year?
Oh my God. Now I gotta check. You guys are funny.
That's why I was confused when this popped up. I was like, wait, I didn't pick
There's always one error on each.
Yeah, I googled it and said his name by them, so I put it there. So he's coaching Verona. Verona lost a bunch of players. It's Verona still has a talented team. I don't like the way he coaches. I don't think he's going to get the players in the right spots and do what they're supposed to be doing. So that's the reason why I'm picking him. All right, whatever.
Do we know what team is on? Is it actually Verona?
I'm 99% sure it's Verona.
Well, Google lied to me. All right, let's go to your surprise team or your dark horse team of the year.
Oh no, we all did it again with Fiorentina.
I mean, listen, I think I picked last year. I put Fiorentina in the top 4, which it was terrible.
Are we all just saying the coach factor here?
I mean, Italiano was a big reason why.
But really quickly, caveat here: if they lose Vlahovic,
Italiano has to learn the language before to be a surprise.
Yeah.
What? What is that? What he said?
He has to learn the language to be a surprise.
If they lose the forward, this changes.
Vlahovic, I mean, if he gets sold, obviously, that changes everything.
Although, if he could do good without Vlahovic, that'd be even more of a surprise, which is where we put them.
Fiorentina, why they not renew Ribery?
He didn't want to stay.
He's old, and he wants a lot of money.
They could renew another year.
No, I'm not sad about that. They have a talented team. They signed a couple of young players, some promising players from South America and stuff.
Oh, you know, Fiorentina refused 60 million today
Yeah, they should. They should get
from
70.
Atletico.
Yeah, they've gotten substantial offers for Vlahovic.
I mean, Camiso has money, so he may not be tempted to sell that. You know, if they do sell him, it's going to be to anyone but Juventus, right? Like, they will not sell anyone good to Juventus, just for what the fans will say.
Really quickly,
he just sold. They sold Chiesa to Juventus.
Yeah, Chiesa, and they're still reliving Baggio. Like, they don't want to sell anyone else to Juventus.
Yeah,
Versa or whatever is coaching Sam.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Google messed with me. So Samp, you have as your surprise team I mean, not to say that I don't think you think they're going to get top 6, right? Do you think they have any chance of getting top 6?
That's not that.
I don't even know if he's listening. Yeah. Do you think Samp will get top 6? Is that a chance in your eyes?
Oh,
your choice for surprise team.
Surprise team.
Why don't you put the thing bigger?
Surprise team. Surprise team can get 7th place.
Okay, so that's their ceiling. You're saying is 7th place.
Surprise, because when I mean a surprise is a team like you enjoy to see that. You enjoy to watch them.
I agree with that.
I put Fiorentina just because they were so underperformers last year, and they have a good roster, right? That we thought with the good coach of Italiano, I said, okay, maybe
see a difference this year with the coach. You were going to see them play better 100%.
You know, they were so disappointing that I said, okay, if they put it all together a year later, you know, I still don't think top 6 or anything necessarily, but
see, Fiorentina, Iachini is still at the payroll.
I think he's clean the toilet.
Last year was Iachini, Montello, then back to Iachini. Like he's coaches them every 3 weeks. He gets a job over there. So the coaching situation should be way better than last year. And I think it definitely bumps them from when they finished 11th, 10th last year. They should finish top 10 at least. Outside chance.
I think they could do 7, 8.
Yeah, sure. If everything breaks right, 6th, 7th.
Yeah, I think 6th, 7th.
Vlahovic, we'll see if he stays. That's really what it hinges on. Let's go to manager of the year. So I mean, this usually ties into your pick for who's going to win. I mean, usually the team who wins gets my manager of the year too. So us 3 pick Gasparini and you picked Allegri as your manager of the year. And I think we
probably
stated
no surprises
the
there.
We stated the reasons before. Gasparini, we all think. I mean, we think.
By the way, let me just if Juventus wins Serie A, does that mean Allegri deserves manager of the year?
Yeah. It doesn't matter if he deserves it. He's going to get it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Why? That's stupid.
That's how it goes, Frank. You win the league, you get the reward.
The way you talk, you like Sarri, Bandera Napoli.
No, I don't like Sarri at all.
Play, but you never win nothing. That's what we want to be.
I'm saying, you pick, but Sarri had Napoli.
Hey, Frank.
Allegri has Juventus that wins every year.
You know the Pallone d'Oro?
No, I never heard of it.
Pallone d'Oro, Cucurun. No.
Yeah, I know.
He's kidding. He's kidding.
They were talking about to give it to Jorginho.
Uh-huh.
The stupid of Cassano. I don't know if you know Cassano.
Yes.
This guy still wants to give it to Messi. Why you want to give it to Messi? What did he win this year, Messi?
Because there's always superstars always get a bias.
He also won the South American tournament this year too, just like Italy won Euros.
Europe, Jorginho won the championship.
Yeah, he also missed a penalty.
I don't know what this has to do with manager of the year, but anyway, let's go to our top goal scorer.
My only point was for Allegri to win manager of the year, the bar should be higher than any other manager because it's Juventus.
Well, no,
and they always
but also they didn't win last year, so they actually have room for improvement. So that's where it's coming from. They
also cycled 3 coaches in a row that all won it for 9 years in a row. So were all the coaches the greatest coaches?
No, but they probably won Manager of the Year most of those years.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think it's a little bit stupid.
All right, top goal scorers. Frank and Pietro picked Ronaldo. Chris, you picked Muriel.
Yeah.
And I picked Vlahovic, assuming he stays. Hopefully he stays. Otherwise, I already lost.
Wow.
This
So you picked Vlahovic. So you see him getting 30 plus goals this year?
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, the top goal scorer might be 28, 36.
Recently, it's been 30 plus though. The last
so
he
takes the penalty shots. He's gonna play every game. He shoots 30 times a game. I think he makes the next jump. And if they don't sell him this year, they're gonna sell him next year for 90 million. I think that's how good he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the Juventus.
When you think like that, right? You think about Belot.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy lost 30 million.
This guy has way more skill than Belotti.
Now not even the 25 they give.
He is so much better than Belotti ever was.
He's better than Belotti ever was. But that was my point. I think a couple shows ago, when we said, "Can we have Vlahovic do it for more than 1 year?" Right? Like he makes a good point. Like you have to do it, especially when you're on a team like Fiorentina, that is not the most consistent thing, right? Like
he has to repeat himself. Huh?
Because I think he's going to.
What if he ends up with 20 goals this year, 18 goals?
That's
still a good year.
That's a successful season.
It's a successful year, but it's a far cry from 28-30.
Even the Muriel, like this is good. Can you repeat him in this year?
Yes.
It's easy to repeat himself.
I think
he's
really
well, we know Atalanta is going to create chances. So
on one of the highest scoring teams, takes penalties, free kicks, awesome finisher. He's awesome.
Listen,
I think Atalanta last year. And
so you see, it's 31. You're going up with the year.
He plays 40 minutes a game.
You pick Ronaldo. He's like 50 years old. So what are you saying?
Ronaldo score because if he plays, score.
Yeah, that was my take too. Like you can't get Ronaldo off the field. So unfortunately, what comes with that is he's going to end up scoring his 27, 30 goals.
I refuse to pick him. I couldn't do it.
I mean,
I'm not a huge Ronaldo fan, but I still think in the end of the day, he's probably going to be one of the top 2 scorers in the league unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, sure.
They say we start to 1-0.
You can't go wrong with picking Ronaldo as top goal scorer. It's a good odds that's going to happen. So I picked Vlahovic because I wanted to pick something different. And I really believe that he's a talented player. It's not.
I like it. It's a ballsy pick. I'll give you credit for that. So I like that.
And our MVPs of the season, so typically goes to whoever you think is going to win the league. The player would also come from that team. So Frank and I picked 2 Atalanta players different players, and Frank picks a right back as his player of the season. Left back. Sorry, he picks Gosens as his player of the season. Please explain.
Okay, so I will explain. So first of all, this is in a world where it's not just about stats, right? So where you pick the guy, like you said, Allegri won it, he gets manager of the year. But Gosens had 10 plus goals as a left fullback. By far the best left fullback I've been saying for how many years now in the world. Right?
In the world, you're saying. Okay.
In the world.
All right.
He's coming off a Euro where people started to act like they discovered Gosens. Oh my God, Gosens. He's been doing that for 3 years.
But
now,
Frank, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You say whatever you say for Gosens. Why nobody ask him? Nobody bought Bob Board. You know what? How much Atalanta wants for him? 35 million.
Yeah, because people.
If this is great, the way we think is.
That's why Frank is way off base on this.
No, it's because not everybody sees the same. But I will tell you, if I was making a team, Gosens is absolutely worth 35 million. If that's your question, so that's not even a question. But here's the thing: I know getting a fullback to win MVP is a long shot, right? But the point is, he means a lot to that team, and if he goes and scores his 10 goals again with however many assists. And he's running up and down, playing every single game, every single minute.
Frank,
he's still not as more.
Defense is a lot.
Yeah, he did it last year.
He's done it.
Repeat himself.
He did it last year.
If the team, any team, would think he would repeat himself 10 goal, 11 goal defense. You think they would not spend 35 million?
Here's how much people mistake. They don't get how valuable Gosens is. I value him regardless of the goals. I never pencil in a defender for goals.
Technically, it's good.
Yeah,
he has a nice touch with the ball.
He runs for 2 people.
He's still not the MVP on that
Listen,
team.
we agree
We're
with
saying
you.
he's the whole league.
We agree, Frank.
Yeah.
We agree.
Listen, I wanted to be a little bit cheeky because you know I love Gosens.
Frank, you have to think one thing from these people, the Atalantans in particular. The Atalanta to repeat themselves and the player to repeat themselves. They all have to play beautiful.
Yeah.
All together. All together, remember. All together.
Looking at this list, I should put Caputo up there. Jesus Christ!
No, listen. Well, you know the funny thing is, Chris, the other person I picked someone on my team that won, right? Because I picked Atalanta, but I was between Chiesa and Dybala on Juventus. Obviously, smarter choices, right? They're forwards, but to my point is, and this is just going to be I always say this. I think people undervalue positions that make a big difference. Just because he's a fullback, people are like, whatever, he's a fullback.
So we agree with you, but you realize and understand there's no chance.
No, I know he's never going to get the MVP, right? And for him to get the MVP, he would have to score 20 goals.
Can I ask you a question, Frank? If let's just say Chiellini could play all 30 games, all get the games, he would play all the way he know how.
The top of his game, the top.
Yeah, who would be the most valuable player?
Probably Chiellini.
It's not unheard of. Like Koulibaly
that's what I'm saying.
A few years ago for Napoli, like he was fantastic and he was up for Player of the Year. And
so here's what happens with defenders. Here's what happens to defenders. For them to win it, I feel like they have to do something special, but they have to get enough of a stature where they become on the radar, right? So Cannavaro in the World Cup won Player of the Tournament, right? Because of the tournament, because he had this great year and he was insane, right? I think for Gosens, because he's coming off of a Euro. And listen, it's still a far bet. I don't even know what the odds are. I don't even know if he's on the list to win MVP.
No.
You know, he's probably like 50,000 to 1, right? But I'm just saying, if the team plays well, Malinowski is another great pick, right? It's hard to pick MVP, but I put it there because I think I knew no one else was going to put there, and I wasn't going to pick a forward. Like, Zapata. Like, I just think Gosens does a lot for that team. And if they sell him, if they sell him, Atalanta could end up in 5th. I'm dead serious. I would go from 1 to 5th.
I believe you, Frank. Of course, it's just for me. It's the best left fullback.
Yeah,
that's why I'm surprised why people did buy 35 million.
I think they have no money, maybe.
No, what about the English? It's Spanish.
Yeah. Because the people running the teams, it's hard for them to say.
Germany does some stuff. 35 million.
I think it's a steal. I think it's a steal. I think it's because people follow what everybody else says. They go get forwards, go get the young English guy. You can go get Gosens, who's 26, I think, 27, and he can play for you 3-4 years.
He's got another solid 3 years.
The quality
I mean, at the level he's playing, up and down the field. Listen, Spinazzola came true what I've been saying for 4 years. Spinazzola, you saw a little bit in the Euros, right? And people were like, oh my God, Spinazzola. Well, Gosens been doing it for 3 years and he never gets hurt.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's a fair point.
Hey, you see, if you compare Spinazzola and Gosens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit who's the best is Gosens is better than the
yeah. Gosens is a little bit better technically. He's more consistent, and obviously he can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's a big factor.
Spinazzola is a little bit better size, than Gosens.
He's faster too.
But Spina's and faster. So Spina's great, right? But we're still talking probably both of them top 5 left backs in the world, and I really do think Gosens is number 1. I think Gosens is better on the left than Hakimi was on the right, and Hakimi got 80 million. That's me. That's for me.
Now the left fullback, I would take Hernandez from Milan.
Yeah, he's also very good.
Very, that's why we don't have Juventus. We still have Sandro.
Fullbacks are hard to come by. A really good one,
So you just made my point. They're so hard to come by. When you have a Zambrotta back in the day, or you have a Gosens or a Spinazzola or a Hakimi, they stand out. Because they're really hard to find.
You also don't build your team around a fullback either.
Well, when you're a team like Juventus, though, or one of these top teams, they could be the difference, right? Like when you're playing another great team, the ones that have the difference makers is how you're going to win. They all have great forwards.
Yeah, but you see, then you have to think overall the team. You mentioned Juventus. You imagine the Gosens and Juventus with Ronaldo on the left.
100%.
No.
Yeah. Why not?
Because Ronaldo block, that's bad.
Ronaldo's always in the middle now. He's more on the middle than he
Go
has been in the left
away.
the
He,
last
for
2 years.
example, we go from the left. He blocked the spot.
Ronaldo would love to have Gosens crossing the ball. Are you kidding?
Do you remember when Matuidi was with us? He was there to block people that go on the side.
I never thought I'd say I missed Matuidi, but I missed Matuidi. That midfield sucks. Anyway,
Midfield does suck.
really quickly, just to go off, I picked a different Atalanta player, Malinowski. I think he's got a very big upside. We haven't seen the best from him. He did win Player of the Month 1 month last season. He had a very good, strong second half of the season. So I'm expecting him to.
He did have a good. Didn't have a good Euro.
He didn't have a good Euro. You're right, but
he needs to get stronger, which I think will help him become more consistent.
Yeah.
But
I think he's going to get more playing time this year. And he's got a lot of upside. So I didn't want to pick Zapata. I didn't want to pick Muriel from them. I picked him.
Yeah. I chose Chiesa.
It's a good pick. It's a good
Between
pick.
him and Zaniolo, the two players I'm looking forward to seeing the most. And if Chiesa's any bit of what he did over the summer, it's going to be fun to watch Juventus. And he's going to have an awesome season. So, I mean, it's easy choice for me, I think.
Chiesa and Locatelli, assuming they get Locatelli in the next week, are the two reasons to watch Juventus.
You forget something for Locatelli. Really have the nice long pass. Exact, precise.
Listen, do you guys write it down?
You know how many passes Chiesa's going to get from Locatelli?
Yeah.
Did you write it down 2-3 episodes ago where I said in 2 years Locatelli's going to be
I don't have to write it down. You mentioned every week.
Because you guys laugh at me. You laugh at me, so like in 2 years.
This is recorded on the internet.
Yeah.
True. But I'm not going to go back and find it.
Yeah. Nobody watches it. And you picked Dybala. You think Dybala's having a bounce back year? He's getting the big contract.
Yeah,
he's the next captain.
The Dybala, one thing concerned me. If he's injured, if you don't get injured, he's going to be the best because he's the best player in Italy right now.
Yeah, and he's
hopefully Allegri shows him some confidence.
You know, someone who can compete with Dybala, Zaniolo.
Yep.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have the same thing injured.
So to go with the confidence part that you were just saying about Dybala, I think just having Allegri there alone boosts his confidence up 100%.
Should help him.
Because of everything that he's already said about him is that he's my player. He's the guy. The team goes around him. He's the next captain. He's all that. Like there alone, Dybala is ahead of the last 2 years.
Well, I hope you're right, Dan, and I hope that he shows that in the moves he makes on the field, not just starting Dybala, but. Is it always Dybala that comes out and Ronaldo never comes out, or do you actually take the game for what it is?
Already, Allegri show. He told them, everybody go out, everybody rest.
I give him credit for that.
He showed Dybala he's going to put on the center. If Allegri put the ball in the center, he feel important, so important for the team. He's going to break.
Listen, from what you've seen that last preseason game, I know that doesn't mean anything. It seems to me like Dybala has a free role. He can do whatever the hell he wants, which is fantastic. I think he's going to have an awesome season. So,
I agree with that, but that also means you need probably a more controlled role to Ronaldo. And will he follow it, or is he going to only do what suits him? Like that. That's what I want to see.
But Ronaldo, relative, because I think. With Chiesa, if Dybala played the way Ronaldo scored more than last year.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
With those two people in the condition, he scored more than.
And if you look at the way Italy played, right, there was many points in the game where Chiesa was interchanging with Insigne. They were ending up on different sides of the field, right? If they could actually do that with Dybala, Ronaldo, and Chiesa when they need to, it could be really good for them. I mean, it could be.
We saw that fast break this past weekend between them three. That was scary.
But it was a counterattack. You're talking about the third goal?
The goal. The counterattack goal.
The third goal?
The first goal.
Hey, that's what Allegri wants to play.
Yeah, so that scares every single team in the league right there. That goal right there, the danger
You see, a team that leaves space to Juventus.
You're going to get burned.
Nobody's going to leave space to Juventus, though. That's actually the problem with a team like Atalanta. I think that's why they lose, right? Because they're like one of the few teams that can actually close Juventus in and give them space on the counterattack.
Yeah, but you see, even if they don't give us space, the team we have so many good players, technique is good. They can, Chiesa, He dribbling is beautiful. The ball is the same. You know, and the other people move.
Of course, Juventus has a good team. I'm just saying they have limitations too, right? Like, and the reason I'm down on Juventus is because I think they will end up probably winning the league, right? If Atalanta doesn't win it, but they're not going to go any further in Champions League. I really don't
Who
believe
told
that
you that?
because I don't unless Locatelli
Who told?
comes
Becky,
and changes the midfield.
you thought Italy would be
Yes, we all picked. Yes, we did.
No, they play good. But they built. What's his name? Mancini built them.
Yeah, he built them, but
He got all the young people. He put together.
So let me ask
Now,
you:
if Juventus play good, all of them play good. That do you see they can play?
But playing good doesn't just happen. You said it earlier. The players make the coach. And who's the midfield? Who's the midfield?
No, play good means practice too. Practice. You know, to be able to score.
Who's the midfield though? In a good game, like when you're playing good teams.
You could see Locatelli, Rabiot.
I'm considering Locatelli is the only good one, and we don't even have him yet.
You cannot play good to midfield.
That's not fair.
You can, but that doesn't mean. What happens when you play a team with 4 good midfielders?
Who's gonna 4-2-3-1?
I'm talking about
the best scheme you can use.
I'm thinking when you play in the Champions League, you have other good teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so you have to be able to win the midfield.
In front of those 2 people, 4-2-3-1. Those 3 people, they should go even in the midfield to help.
They should, but now you're counting on Dybala to win in the midfield.
Well, Chiesa
does. But
you never saw them come back.
That's why they were world beaters last year, and they came in first place. They were amazing.
I'm losing track of the number of Juventus debates we had. That was like the 3rd one.
Hey, we're all Juventus fans, so at least we keep it on.
And don't forget,
I don't know if I am.
If Bernardeschi keep this in shape, we're going to regret what we say about
Bernardeschi's never going to play the field. He's never going to see the field.
That's not true. Yeah, so we're going to change off that, and we're going to quickly do picks for week 1.
Dominic, what do you mean that mine have ever been open to English team that I have mine?
Don't worry about it.
He was talking about Ghostins. Let's pass it. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean that?
Maybe he meant Ghostins didn't want to go.
Ghostins didn't want to go to. He didn't want to go to England. He wants to go to Germany. That's been said a million times that if he goes somewhere, he's going to Germany. Yep. Anyway, we do picks every week, and we actually have games to pick this week. So we're gonna look at week one schedule, and we're
opening round of Serie A.
I'm gonna get off to an early lead and never look back.
Yeah, but we forgot to say something though.
Did we? We've been talking for 2 hours.
No, the game Sunday is started the championship.
We're just saying that. We're just saying that.
But we didn't say the result.
We're gonna do that now. We're gonna do that now.
I feel like it's about a different podcast.
I thought it was finished.
I would like Dom to thank Dom for blasting that music in my ear. I can't hear anything now, so I appreciate that. We have here. You happy? Week 1. Okay, we're gonna each pick a game, and we're all gonna pick results for the games, and we're gonna start tracking from week 1. I'm gonna get up to an early lead and never look back.
I'm gonna start. Ready? Rome versus Fiorentina. 2-1 Rome.
2-1 Rome. You say?
Yep. I'm saying 2-1 Fiorentina.
Wow. Okay. I'm saying 2-2 draw.
I say 2-2 draw.
Okay. Who would like to make the next selection? So don't all jump out. I'll pick Samp versus Milan. I'm picking 2-1 Samp. No Kessie. Remember, no Kessie, no Zlatan. 2-1 Samp.
1-1.
I'm also going to say 1-1.
I say 1-1 too.
All right. So who didn't pick? Frank, you want to pick one?
Let's see. Who do we got?
You're going to pick Udinese Juventus? I mean, you just spent 6 hours talking about Juventus.
Udinese Juventus, I'm going to say 3-0 Juventus.
Chris?
3-0. Wow.
3-1 Juventus.
He's saying 3-1. You said 3-1?
Yeah, that's what he said.
All right.
Bonucci's playing. 2-1 Juventus.
I'm saying 4-0 Juventus.
I love how we all slammed Juventus for like an hour and a half, and then we all picked them to win.
Listen, Udinese don't have a good team.
All right, Pietro, pick one.
Pick a game.
Pick one. Hellas Verona Sassuolo.
What do you got?
Okay.
Hellas Verona Sassuolo is 1-1.
I think two teams on a down year. I think both these teams are not going to have good years. But I'm going to say Sassuolo 1-0.
I'm going to say 2-1 Sassuolo.
This is a hard one.
There are a lot of changes on these teams. I mean, coaches.
Can you remind me of some of the changes on Sassuolo again?
I mean, Locatelli probably won't be there. Is that enough for you?
Yeah, that's a big one. Well, he's still there now, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Verona.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even with that coach. All right.
Yeah.
So that's our picks. We'll see how we.
We need to bring the scoreboard up every week, though, so people can see how we're doing. So we picked 4 games.
So it's 1 point if you get the result right. 2 points if you get the exact score right too, right? That's our score.
It should be 3 points if you get the exact score right.
Okay, well we're doing 2 points.
We're doing 1 and 2. Our producer can't do tough math.
Yeah.
All right, what else, fellas?
No, that's it. Come on, I gotta go to bed. Subscribe, Twitch, YouTube. There's a Twitter. There's all podcasts, all that stuff. Leave us comments. We'll respond.
I was gonna say, comment, make fun of us if you want. Let
us know your top picks.
If you're still listening, by the way, you qualify to be our number 1 fan, whether you like it or not.
We might have you on the show.
We'll put you on the show.
Yeah. You can have my spot. All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.